Hey everybody, when you get on, say hey so I know you're here, and let me know what you're excited about learning tonight. We are going to be building shapes with the shape tool and the modify tool in Silhouette Studio. So I am super excited. I'm using my little handy dandy software tonight again so that you guys can see my face and the screen at the same time, so I can't see you. So when you get on, I want you to double check. I want you to tell me I'm on, so I can double check that I'm on. JJ's here assisting me. Can you do me one favor, baby, and make sure that I'm really live by talking to Dad? Maybe grabbing his phone. Okay? Because hey Starlin, hey Beth. Awesome. Yeah, I'm on. I'm good. Okay. So tonight, hey Janet and Danielle and Katie, yay, I have all kinds of people on. Tonight we're going to be building shapes or objects with shapes in Silhouette Studio. And when I learned how to do this, I was so excited because I knew I was going to be able to teach you guys, which makes me so excited. So excited. Because to be able to teach you to do something that I think I looked a long time to be able to find some sort of tutorial to help me design without being like super duper talented and artsy fartsy. Because I'm not an artist, like naturally I have to really work at it. And so I know that a lot of us are like that. And hey Lee, hey Sam, hey Janie. And so I want to teach you guys and teach you to first be able to pick out what you need to look for in a picture to be able to recreate it. And yeah, I'm excited because you guys are going to really love this. We're going to be looking at the screen. So let's go ahead and show you that in the corner for a second. So we're going to be looking at the screen, but it's going to be flip-flop, so don't worry. My face is going to be little. If you guys have questions, let me know. Hey, Lisa. So I can see your questions, and I will scroll through those. They're on my iPad over here. And if I look really tired, I'm really sorry. I promise I am fully awake for this. I think I have like some sort of like relapse. I'm pretty sure I had the flu, and it's like, I don't know. I had some fever today, so I felt a little yucky. Of course, this was after I posted and got all excited about the live tonight, and I was like, oh my gosh, really? That's so silly. But I'm good. I am good, and you guys are going to be good, especially after you watch this live, because I really think this is going to be something that you're going to enjoy and really be able to use in the future. Now, this being said, if I cover something that you're like, whoa, what? Like if you missed the point editing the other day, we are going to kind of go through that again. But if you missed it the other day, I want you to just, not panic, because this will be recorded and you can go back to it later, and just know that those resources will be there still for you to go back and look at. The point editing class was pretty cool. I think a lot of you enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this, if not more than that one. But we will be covering point editing, the modify tool, the shape tool, all kinds of fun things that you don't really know a lot about when you first get into designing in Studio. So are you guys ready to get started? Okay, so let's switch us over. That's A and that is B. Okay, awesome. And hopefully my face will stay out of the way, and hopefully this little guy will not keep popping up. Okay, so I created these two shapes. It's in case you couldn't tell, it's Cutie Pie and Stud Muffin. And I originally got this idea because I saw it, of course. That's how we all get inspired, right? We see something like it on Etsy or on Pinterest or on something like that. So what I want you guys to know is that, we really don't want to copy people, definitely not to a T. That's actually, when somebody creates something, they are actually protected by copyright law. If they created it, it's a really gray area, but just really try to create your own stuff. And that's what this is doing. This is going to help you to start create your own cut files or your own designs, so that you're not always just tracing or just going to Etsy and buying something, this is going to allow you a little bit more freedom in that area so you could be creative. And I was just so excited when I could do this, knowing that I didn't have to draw it, okay? All right, so first we're going to start with stud muffin. That is the simpler of the two. And I want to let you guys see my inspiration photo that's right there by it. And so let's zoom in a little bit more on this part. And then we're going to get, nope, we don't want to do that. Remember, if you ever do anything in studio that you don't like what you did, just simply do the undo button and it's great. There's a little bit of a delay. So hopefully it won't be too slow for us tonight. Okay, so stud muffin. This was my inspiration picture that I used. What I want you to be able to start doing is when you look at a picture, be able to pick out the different shapes that are in that picture so that you can recreate it. No, see, I said stop doing that. So you can recreate it. And in this, what do you guys see? The basic shapes that you guys that are staring right back at me, spit it out. I want you guys to guess before I say it. What are some of the basic shapes you see in this? Beautiful. We're just looking at the little muffin that I took from, it's a coloring book page from online. What do you guys see? Hey, Pauline. So hey, Terry. Aw, Jason's watching me. He's watching me from the print room right now. He's printing for the shop, getting it nice and stocked up. Okay, right, Jerry, we see a rectangle. I see some circles. Definitely, they're not full circles, but that's what we're going to learn how to do is put them all together, right? Which you're going to be able, whenever I tell you how to do this, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I could have totally figured that out. So just know that this stuff is not rocket science, and I'm not claiming to know anything extra cool. It's just I put a bunch of things that I've learned together, and I think it's going to be something great for you guys to know, okay? So while watching my percentage on my iPad, it better not die on me. Don't worry, I am so ready and prepared for this. Okay, so first, Jerry said she saw a rectangle. I saw some circles, and then I see a square too. So basically, I'm gonna go over to my shape tool, which you guys see on the left-hand side of my screen. Right now, I have highlighted my shape tool. You can get to your shape tool on that left-hand side over there. And this is the rectangle. This is it ellipse tool or shape tool? I think it's the shape tool. It could be the ellipse tool. You could do a rounded rectangle. You could do an oval or an ellipse, and you could do a hexagon and turn it into a triangle. That's a little bit more advanced. We're probably not going to get it to that. Yeah, we're not going to get into that tonight. It's not like super advanced, but it's just a little bit more involved. You can change the number of sides. It's a great tool. We just don't need it tonight as we're making our baked goods, okay? So let's start with we know we want a circle, right? Remember last time, I think it was last week we did this, I told you if you hold down the shift button and as you're dragging your mouse with your ellipse tool, it makes a perfect circle, okay? So I'm gonna do a circle. Right now I'm looking right here. We're recreating this little guy right here, so I should just move him over. Hold on. I'm gonna move him over so that's what we're looking at, so you guys don't think I'm cheating. Okay, so I am looking at, this is a circle, this is a big circle to me, and that's another little circle that's about the same size as that one. So I want to make this circle the size of the side circles, okay? I'm going to duplicate that. In order to duplicate that, remember, if we get ahead, guys, and you start feeling like you're lost, just take a deep breath and know that you can come back to this later. This is all recorded, okay? So in order to duplicate this, I could do two things. I could Command C, which is going to Command copy, and then Command V, which is going to paste it. That's a MacBook. Not all of us have MacBooks, so let me delete that. I can right click on my circle, which is what I'm going to show you tonight because it's the more visual one. And I'm going to right click and go down to duplicate. Okay, I chose duplicate, and now I have another circle. And I'm just going to put it in the vicinity, and let's make these, I want my tool to be a little bit darker for you guys. Hold on one second. I want my lines to be darker, like I made my other ones more bold. This could be another little lesson, but I don't want to get you guys too overwhelmed in case you didn't know about line thickness and all of that. But I just want you to be able to see these. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate it again. Okay, remember what we're going to do to duplicate that is right click, go down to duplicate, and this time with that third circle, I'm going to make it bigger like this circle up here. And in a second, I'm going to overlap it so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, if I really want to get technical and I really want it to be just like the other one, which doesn't make a lot of sense because we're not trying to completely replicate what somebody else is doing, right? We're trying to break away from that. But if we wanted to completely do what they're doing just to practice, we can go ahead and lay it over this one, and I can show you so you guys can see what I'm talking about, and so you don't think I'm crazy when I'm saying circle over circle. Okay, there's a circle. Take my other circle, drag it up here, and we can see mine's a little bit bigger, but you know what? That doesn't bother me. Not one little bit, because that means mine's going to be a little different, right? We could make our circles smaller if we wanted to make the icing or the muffin top. It's not really icing because it's for a muffin. Okay, we could do that. That'll work too. Okay, so you can see, do you guys see, am I talking Greek? Or can you guys see what I'm talking about? Let's see. Uh-oh. Somebody said, uh-oh, where'd I go? Hopefully I didn't go anywhere. Somebody talk to me. Okay, so somebody say stud muffin, so I know you're there, because now I'm worried that you're gone. This software is fun, but I do feel a little bit, oh good, Darby said hello. Okay, good. Okay, so there we go, there are our circles. So now I'm going to select all of my circles and pull them off. I'm going to do that by saying, just clicking shift, and then, seriously? Shift, and then selecting each of these little guys, and I'm going to pull it off. If it'll let me, if it will cooperate. Okay, and you can see I've selected this square. I want to deselect that square. I'm just gonna click off of it. And now I can use my arrow keys, is what I'm doing, or I can just, oh my goodness. It's reading my iPad, guys. I'm so sorry. We're just gonna move this stuff out of the way. Move this over here and move my already done one over here. Okay, now, so these are my original circles I'm working with. Okay, so here is the exciting part, okay? I want you to select them all, just like that. And if you want to move yours around, but this is where I think it looks good like this. I think it's going to look good. You can always undo, so don't get scared. But select them all. You have to select them all. And then I want you to right-click. And what do you think we do, guys? What do you think we do? Sorry that it's going to keep popping up like that. That's annoying, I know. We are going to weld. So we right-clicked and we are welding them, because the reason why is, remember when we use weld for a font, we're trying to get rid of all those overlapping lines on the edges and the ends of the letters. Well, now we're going to weld these shapes to make those lines disappear. How cool is that? So now we have our muffin top, right? Okay, so for the Tanya, this is called Switcher Studio. It's a Mac. Yay, Rachel. I'm glad you guys see me. Okay, so we have made our muffin top, and let's go over and make our square now, okay? I want the more defined edges, and I am going to just draw a little square, and I'm just doing that by dragging it. I know you guys can't see, so I'm going to make that a little bit more thick. I'm going to make it thicker, which is going to make it more red for you. So I do that with my line tool on the right hand side. It kills me to not teach you guys how to do something. So if you open the line style panel, you can actually thicken those lines so that you can see them. Okay, so that's all I did. Now, this is where I want to make sure that I filled in. When we start using the modify panel, I want you guys to fill in your shapes, because it helps you to see what's on top of what, okay? So let's go ahead and fill in using the color, the fill panel on the right-hand side, that little palette on the right-hand side. Let's make our muffin top pink, because I love pink. And then let's make our rectangle purple, because I love purple. And now I know stud muffins for a boy, but that's okay. This is just for our pleasure and for us to be able to be, know what we're doing. So let me show you why we wanted to color our shapes in. Which shape is on top? Is the rectangle on top or are the circles on top? Currently, the rectangle is on top. When we're wanting to do what we're wanting to do, which is basically cut out this area right here, we want to make a cutout or a knockout. We want this rectangle to be in the back, okay? So in order to make it move to the back layer, where the circles will be on top, I'm going to right click and go down to the bottom. Do you see at the bottom of my list, I have send to back, bring to front, bring forward, send backward. This is helping you layer things correctly in the correct order. So I'm going to send to back, okay? Now, you're probably looking at this saying, Mandy, it doesn't look like the other one, and I agree, it doesn't. So this is where our point editing fun comes in that we did the other day. I'm gonna drag my rectangle down. We have it in the correct layer, the correct order, so that's great. But I wanna kind of flare out my edges, and so let's do this. So double click, remember to point edit, you're going to double click on your shape. And then you're gonna pull up these little guys right there. The little nodes, okay? You see the gray, they look a little bit littler on this because but they're on every corner, anywhere there's a little point, that's where you edit, okay? And it's because of the red line, they look smaller. Typically they're gonna look bigger to you on your screen. Now I'm gonna grab this one and I just wanna pull it out, okay? Because I wanna flare the bottom of my little muffin just a little bit. Okay, now this is a little wider than my other one. Look at this, you guys. See how it's a little wider than the other muffin? Well, it's fine actually. I kind of like that. Okay, so we're good. If I could remember, we can resize this if we wanted to. You can resize it proportionally, or you could even go in there and make it kind of fatter and shorter like that, okay? But what we want to do is we want to put in this little knockout because I love how it looks like the muffin top is hanging over the top of that. Because if we just did this, we could, and that's cute. But when you're using vinyl and making shirts and things like that, it's so much fun to have those different, to have the knockout. I think it makes things stand out better. So let's go ahead and select both your muffin top and your rectangle, okay, or square. And we're gonna go over to the modify panel. We've worked with this before, but this can be a little confusing. It's over on the right-hand side and it says open the modify panel. It's the little rectangle with the circle and they're overlapping, okay? The right-hand side right above my head. Okay, so we have a couple of different options that pop up. What we wanna do is we really want to subtract all because we wanna keep our muffin top and we want to keep our rectangle. We just want them to be separate and we want the knockout in there. So if you go up to, it shows you what it's going to do, and it also tells you, like right now it says subtracts areas of shapes obscured by other shapes. So if you want to try to understand that, I'm much more visual so you can see what it's doing in the actual pictures. And in the beginning, I admit, when I first learned to use this tool, it was very confusing. I feel like now as I'm using it more, sometimes I just go through the list and I start clicking them and I'll just do undo if I don't like what it did, okay? But on this, I know that subtract all is what I want. Now watch this. When I pull my rectangle away, look what happened. Yay! Yay? Oh, because it is, yeah, so see, it's gone. So it took away whatever was overlapping and put that there. Now let's see where my line is though. What's going on there? I don't know if that's just a technicality because I thickened my line earlier or if it's actually, that is interesting. Okay, you guys hold on 1 second. If it have any of my silhouette, you look like a cheerleader when you flare it out. I hope I'm not out again. I have a great signal, so I really hope that that's not, I don't know why the cut lines aren't there. I think it has something to do with the fact that I had big thick lines. I don't know. That I may just have to come back and update that. But I did this just like I did the other one. And basically, to do those little, see, the last thing to do are those little 3 little lines. So just go up to your shape tool again over here. And I use the rounded rectangle, okay? And you just drag and pull down like this. And if it's not angled yet, that's fine, that's okay. You just drag and pull down. And then if you wanna keep them similar in size, I went back up to my select tool on the left-hand side. I'm gonna go back down, let's zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going back down. I'm gonna select my little rectangle that I just drew. Maybe. Boom. Of course, it's wanting to select everything else. Okay, and I'm going to right click and duplicate, right? And I'm gonna do another one just like that. So we just duplicated them, whoop. And then you're going to move them where you want them to be. Okay, well, how about this? This will be easier. Let's pull this up and over. We're gonna put these where we want them to be. And of course I'm using my Mac and I don't have my mouse. So I'm using my trackpad, which drives Megan crazy when I do this because it is very hard to do. Okay, if we want to angle out our little rectangles, okay, we're going to double click on it. Nope, just click on it. And we take our little, see this green circle right there? You're going to, that helps you rotate. That's your rotate, okay? We're just going to rotate it out a little bit. Click on this other outside one, and we're going to rotate it out a little bit. And I'm going to actually scoot that out. And let me show you one more trick that's fun with this. If you want to align them, Gage, I got so tickled the other day because Gage totally knows how to use this tool. If you want to align them and make them exactly side by side, if you go up to the very top of your screen, there's an align tool on the right, but let's use this one up here and put it where they're all going to be side by side, basically. So it's this one, okay? We want them all exactly side by side. Push that, and it put them perfectly in line. That's the align tool, okay? So that's another little snippet. Now let's bring our little muffin bottom back down, and we're gonna line it back up in a second. Right now I'm just basically going to be, I'm gonna scoot it out a little more. See, I was making it my own again, but we're trying to get it just like the other one right now, and that's okay. Okay, so if you take you're going to want to see how there are holes in this. If you want to do that, you need to form a compound path. And this is also one of those things that can sometimes be confusing, but I promise you it's not that confusing. Just do what I say, and it should be fine. So in order to do this, you're going to select your muffin bottom and your rectangles, your rounded rectangles. See, they're all selected. You're going to right click and go down to the bottom where it says make a compound path. So basically it's putting these shapes together, okay? And it's making them all one. And then watch this. Whenever I recolor, oh, I'm on the line tool. Whenever I recolor it, now I have my rounded rectangles that are now a part of my muffin. So I want you guys to see this, and then we're gonna review. So you see these side by side, mine's a little different, which is totally okay. We want them to be a little different because they're our original one, right? So let's review what we did really quick, and then we're gonna do it again over on with the pie, okay? So we can review some of these. And before you guys ask, I know you will, the font here is Snicker. It's a great font, Snicker, okay? Okay. Oh, so Janet says go to send to silhouette. Okay, let's see what happens, Janet. Okay, it's there. So the cut line is there. Janet's right. So excellent. Okay, so let's move on to back to design, and we can get these off the page because there's a lot of stuff on the page. So we did circles. Okay, we welded our circles. We made our rectangle, we flared out the tops with point editing, and then we used the knockout method using subtract all. Don't worry, I know we're gonna go through all this again, the subtract tool, and then we made a compound path with rounded rectangles, okay? And we also used our little rotation tool, right? A lot of stuff, you guys, that's a lot of stuff. So if you're a beginner, you're probably completely overwhelmed, but just know that you won't stay that way. If you just practice and you get on and you practice some of these that I'm teaching you to do, and you can use these exact pictures if you want. If you guys need me to give you these links to these exact pictures so you can have them and just play with them, absolutely I can do that, okay? But I just did a search for pie silhouette and muffin silhouette, and that I found the cutest one that I liked and the one I wanted to copy, okay? All right, so, hey Julie, hey Jerry. Okay, now I'm gonna take this off because I'm getting hot now that I'm getting going.
That would be nice.
And we're gonna make, what, Jace?
It'd be nice to be warm.
Yeah, I know. Can you give me some water? You can wear, no, I can't drink your water. You can wear my sweater. Okay, getting ready for round 2. Are you guys ready? It's basically the same kind of stuff, we're just using different shapes, okay? So for cutie pie, what shapes do you guys see in the pie? Just tell me some shapes that you think that we're gonna be putting together, okay? And, oh, I have business edition as well. How do you get the icons on the top as well as the side? Brooke, I did not know that business edition wouldn't put them on, or that the other editions didn't have them on the side. There should be a way I can look at, I think there's a way that I can look at this from another view. Oh, I'm actually in design layout. No? Okay, that's never mind. We'll blame it on the cold medicine again, guys. I need to be medicated. I am not. That's a great question. Silhouette people. If you were on, Julie Huggins is on. If you were on and you have an answer to Brooke's question, please answer her. She says, I have the business edition as well. How do you get the icons on the top as well as the side? I thought they all had them on the top. Thank you, baby. So much. Let me get a little, good. You guys are answering. I was really thirsty. Sorry. I was really thirsty. Okay, good. You guys are right. Okay. So we see an oval, a rectangle, ovals and circles, rounded rectangle. Okay, I like it. Very good. So let's do this. Let's go over to our ellipse tool and let's first start with what I saw was the most obvious, the big flat oval or ellipse, okay? Remember, I'm going to draw it and I chose it over here in my shape tool. I clicked on it and now I'm going to draw it with my mouse. And I'm going to make it darker in a second so you can actually see the shape because I know it's not very obvious on the screen like this. So I'm going to draw my little ellipse just like that. Okay. Oh, you can see it. I will make it darker in a minute for you. And now I'm going to draw a few little circles too because it looks like, or actually just one and then duplicate it. Okay. I'm going to hold down my shift button. And then I'm going to draw my circle. That's going to help me make a perfect circle, right? So I'm going to make the circles about the size of my other one. And then I'm going to go back up to my select tool on the right-hand side because this is how I make my circles. I could teach you a different thing over here. Maybe I'll teach you a different, let's learn something new. Okay, so if I want to make a lot of copies of one little circle, I want you to go over to your right-hand side. This is one way you can do it. And there's this little tool right here called the Replicate Panel. Click on it. And basically, you can duplicate doing just like this. So you just click on this, see it has the direction. It's pointing over there. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And I'm just clicking. Okay, if I do too many, that's not a big deal. It's going to be fine. I'm putting them all where I want them to go. And I had like a little lip on that one, so I'm going to put that there. Now I'm just going to be arranging. Can you guys, I hope you guys can see this. Let's make them all dark red. Hold on. Again, I'm thickening the line so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm going to arrange all of my little circles to make like kind of like the ruffle. And I could have used my, I could have just taken my oval and put it down, but I wanted to line these up just so and just kind of round them. And so I'm manually doing this. And let's see, I'm going to do one more. For my Mac users, Command C, Command V will copy and paste whatever you just highlighted. So that is Command C, Command V, my favorite. I love that part. Now, once I've made my pie top, I feel like my oval's a little too high. So I want to take it down a little bit. And so I'm just going to drag my oval down. Okay? And then once I do that, this is the other day, so there's no telling what this is going to look like today. It looks like I could have spread it out a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not going to like how that looks. So, these are a little too close for my liking, so I'm just going to spread them out. I'm going to have some extra ones in there, and that's okay. So this is a lot about trial and error, you guys. What I want you to be able to start learning to do is look at a shape and look at a design, and say what kind of shapes are in it. And it, just like you did today, being able to see what kind of shapes are in it so that you can put things together like this. Because I did this just by looking and saying, what shapes do I see, right? All right, so once you have your circles where you want them, let's pretend we love it, okay? I'm gonna highlight all of them together by selecting them all. I just drug my mouse over all of them, I selected them all, and remember what we do to make all those lines disappear? We're going to right click, we're going to weld. And you can see this pie is a little different. Hey, but you know what? All pies are a little different, so that's okay. This one's a little different. Basically, I could do undo, watch, undo, and I could put them all and put them how I did my other one. And I promise it really was me. It was just 3 days ago or whenever I was excited about this. But I'm not going to worry about that right now because you won't always get the same exact thing, and that's okay too. So let's go ahead and make our little ovals right here. You guys see those ovals? Where is, Megan's not here, Julie. She said, good job, Megan. All right, so I'm making my oval, and it won't be exactly where I want it, remember, because it's not going to turn yet. So I just draw my oval, and then I'm going to use click on it. I went to my select all tool, which when I say that, guys, that means the arrow. You notice you always have to keep going back to that arrow. And then I want you to take your little green circle and rotate that pie thing, the opening of the pie. I'm going to also right click and duplicate this. Watch this little trick. So I duplicated the same exact one to make the opposite one. And since it's opposite, I can flip it horizontally. I told you I was going to pack this full of stuff. So watch if I flip it horizontally by right clicking. I went to right click, flip horizontally, and it flipped it exactly opposite. So now I can put this little guy over here, put this one here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then I'm going to right click, duplicate, and then just rotate the middle one. Or I can make a new one. But it doesn't matter. It's just whatever seems easier to you. I love my copy and paste button, so that's typically what I'm using. And I can also see, rotate a little bit more. I can also see whenever I do this that little oval right there is a little smaller, so we're going to make it a little smaller. Okay, there we go. Yay! Okay, so remember how we made the holes earlier? We made the compound path, okay? So we're going to select all of those shapes. Oh, and that's not exactly centered, so let's center that by moving our pie crust over. So you're going to grab all of them, okay? You're going to right click and you're going to make a compound path, okay? Which means we're making it all one. It's all compounded together, and now we're going to color it so we know in a second which one is on top. I made mine purple. Let's match the other one for fun. Oh, that's close enough. And now we are going to make our rounded rectangle. How are you guys? Okay, so all the icons show up at the top of the page of your screen when you have a shape or design on the mat automatically. That's what I thought. Okay. Hey, Ton. Okay. Let's go over here to our rounded rectangle and use that. I always get excited when I can use a rounded rectangle because it's not something that you think you would use a lot. So let's just draw a rounded rectangle. Okay, remember it can be a little bit bigger. It's okay because we can resize it later. Go back up to your select all tool. I keep saying that because if you sat here and you were trying to click, you would keep making all of these rounded rectangles. You have to go back up to your select tool and select the arrow to get back on to be able to manipulate this little guy. So now I'm going to change the color of my line, or the thickness of my line, so you guys can see it a little better. Let me go closer too. Okay. And, all right, you guys remember what we did next? We point edited so that we can make the little flare, right? To point edit, you double click on your shape. Double click and your little nodes. Ooh. Hold on. Oh, I know what we need to do. This isn't a path yet because you see how it's still adjustable right here? That almost scared me for a second. I was like, oh no. But you see how it's still adjustable? It's not a path. You can only point edit if you convert it to a path, you guys. So you have to right click. And if something won't point edit, just right click on it and see if you can convert it to a path to see if that's what's wrong. Because typically that's what's wrong if you aren't able to point edit something. So then you click on it and there are your points, okay? You see the gray nodules right there? The nodes pop up. So now you can see that we can edit this. So if we wanted to drag this in, drag this one in, go back over to this side, we're gonna just drag these little nodes, drag this in. So I'm just flaring that, okay? Kind of pulled it up a little bit. Okay, awesome. Now let's fill that pie, the bottom of the pie in so we know where it is. Is it on top? Is it on bottom? We don't even know, right? So let's go to pink and we're gonna fill it in. And we did know because we created it last, the last shape that you create is gonna end up on top. So we want it on bottom in order to do the knockout, okay? So let's right click. You're going to send it to the back. Send it to the back, just like this. Boom, to the back. Now, like I said, you could leave it like this, but I really like the little knockout crust. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a knockout crust. So in order to do that, I need to select the top of my pie and the bottom of my pie because we're gonna be subtracting those two shapes. You have to select the shapes you're gonna be subtracting. Go over to your modify panel on the right-hand side. So right now above my head, over there, click on it. And we're gonna choose again the subtract all. I could do other ones, but it's just basically if you do one and you don't like what you did, just click undo. But let's go to subtract all, and we should be able to pull it apart now. And boom, there it is. Now remember, I thickened those lines so my cut lines went away. Now I do like my first pie I did a little bit better, but that's just because my circles didn't fall in the right place and I could have gone back. At this point, once it's welded, you can't do anything unless you wanted to go back and do your multi undo option up here. That is very handy, but I am not gonna be doing that. So there you go. I bet you anything it was easier than you thought it was gonna be when I said that I was gonna teach you to design. These are absolutely it's super simple objects, but if you think about it, a lot of the shirts that you do are super simple objects. You can make your own heart, which I was excited about that because I feel like I can never find a heart that's like a good heart. Right now, if you didn't like how your pie turned out and you wanted this, say, to be a little bit more domed up here, we can just double click on it if it's a path, and it should be. But you can also, stop it. You can also, you can point edit this as well. So going on in there, double clicking, you should be able to. I think my computer is just fed up with me at this point. But you should be able to point edit as you do this. I'm pretty sure you should be able to. Let's see if we made it. We did make it a path. It was already, I don't know if it being compounded is bothering it, but it shouldn't. Maybe we'd have to uncompound it. Anyway, regardless, You could still, if you release the compound path and you wanted to go in there and edit, I don't know. Julie, if you were still on, I made it look easy, Pat, you're funny. If you're still on, Pat, Julie, can you tell me why it won't let me point edit when I'm in, whenever it's compounded? I guess that's the only difference. If I release my compound path, let's just see, you guys. Earlier, I did have something that would not. Yeah, this is weird. It may just be my computer. You can see I have 15,000 things opened up, so everything's really angry at me right now. But that's fine. We're going to undo and be happy with what we have and know that we could definitely go back and fix it later or do another one. Okay, so I hope that you guys like that. It is definitely... that was jam-packed with a lot of little tidbits, and I hope I didn't go too fast. I know you guys always say I talk fast, but honestly, all of it is super easy. It's just about practice and doing it over and over and over again. So finding things to use that modify panel, that's my favorite panel, honestly, because the weld is there, the subtracting, so you can do your knockouts and things like that. Just work on it, work with it, and just do it over and over and over so you don't lose practice, okay? Also teaching somebody else, believe it or not, even when you don't know everything, it helps solidify it into your brain. Excuse me. Yeah, I could adjust this size, Shannon, absolutely. I was wanting to point edit it though. Oh, where's my point editing tool? There's a point editing thingy. I see, I'm really bad about not knowing all of my little things over here. I am not sure why it's not point editing. It's weird. But I could make it bigger, absolutely. I'm just trying to double click on it to point edit it. And it's not letting me. So I'm going to have to play with that and figure it out and let you guys know on my next studio live for sure. Because this is, it's somewhere on there. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. Oh, I know. Let me go up to something else and point edit. And then my little point edit thing will come on. You can see I'm obsessive. And that is why it's not letting me point edit anything. And these are paths. So that's just a mistake. This is just because my computer all of a sudden, it did this to me the other day, didn't want to point edit it anymore. So you should be able to double click and point edit this. Unless there's some kind of weird thing. That's right. You do always learn by teaching. I agree, Mame, for sure. Okay. We are going to actually be making these designs, not tonight, but another night, and very soon. My box members, these files, the super cute ones, not necessarily, because I think the other day when I could play with them a little bit more, I was able to make cuter ones. If you go and look in the Dropbox folder right now, they are there. So my box members, if you had the SparkleBerry subscription box for February, you have these already, and can you imagine how cute these are going to be with pattern, you guys? They're going to be so cute. Let's go to just my face. Solo. Okay, so that's it. Do I have anything else? Oh, I hear that there is a nationwide shortage on strip flock white. And I was really excited about doing strip flock white bunnies for Easter. So you guys, we do have about 50 yards in-house, but just letting you know that we are one of the ones that we do have strip flock white. If you want it, it is on the website, and you might want to get it for Easter, because how can you run out of strip flock white for Easter? Anyway, so we have some, whereas a lot of people don't right now. Okay, I hope you guys loved it, and I'll go back out and look at and look at everything later and make sure to comment where I can. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm telling you, I do not like it whenever my body wants me to rest and I would like to work and have fun and craft. But we have to listen to our bodies sometimes. So you guys have a great night. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you really soon. Next time we'll be making something, actually making it, okay? Bye, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And, Super Bowl. Oh, it's going to be a fun weekend. You guys are going to hear from me. Okay, bye, guys.